When you think of popular Cartoon Networks and a source for some of the best childhood memories, many people immediately point to Nickelodeon. Sure, it's not what it used to be since changing ownership in the late 1990s, but many people still head over to Nick to catch up on some of their favorite animated and live-action kids programs. What a lot of people don't know is that there are quite a few shocking backstories and details surrounding some of your favorite shows that have aired on Nickelodeon over the years. SpongeBob's Big Pitch. Around since 1999, this animated show has spawned a range of video games, movies, clothing lines, and even theme park rides. Still, a talking sponge, a snail that meows, and a clarinet-playing squid have more than a few people wondering what the heck they are watching. The show's creator, Steven Hillenburg, must have known this show was bizarre. It probably explains why, when he pitched the idea, he brought along visual aids, including an actual aquarium and tiny figurines of each character. As he explained the show, he dropped the characters in the aquarium before unveiling the fact that the star of the show was a talking sponge. Yay! Green slime. Ugh. If you grew up throughout the 80s, then chances are you saw the show You Can't Do That on television at least once. It was like an extremely low-budget version of Saturday Night Live, with a cast of kids and teenagers playing up various skits and sketches. One joke that occurred throughout involved dumping green slime all over someone anytime they stated, "I don't know." The slime, a mix of shampoo, baby oil, food coloring, cream of wheat, and even cottage cheese, so upset the cast members it was dumped on that the show agreed to pay any slimed actors an extra bonus to make up for the mess. Pre-Starstudded. If you watch Nickelodeon over the last few decades, there's an excellent chance you've seen more than one star before they made it big. For example, singers Hunter Hayes and AJ McLean appeared on various game shows. Of all the shows, however, Are You Afraid of the Dark debuted a wide range of kids who would go on to become famous. The horror story show saw appearances from the likes of Ryan Gosling, Neve Campbell, Alicia Cuthbert, Jay Baruchel, and Hayden Christensen, to name just a few. Ghostbusters vs. Nickelodeon. When Ghostbusters came out in 1984, it was a big hit but caused a few problems for Roger Price, the creator of Nickelodeon's You Can't Do That on Television. You see, one of the key aspects of the Ghostbusters storyline was that victims of a ghost attack got slimed. The movie's creators thought Price had stolen the idea of getting slimed and tried to sue him. Needless to say, once Price showed the plaintiffs a tape of You Can't Do That actors getting slimed as far back as the late 70s, this lawsuit fell apart faster than the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Are You Afraid of the Dark's fire? If you watch the series Are You Afraid of the Dark very closely, you may notice that only once do you ever see the campfire being lit by one of the kids. Every other show just has the fire going from the start. So why were producers reluctant to show the fire getting lit? It turns out they didn't want to encourage kids to light matches and start fires on their own. Throwing magic powder on the fire to make it leap higher? That was apparently okay because it was just non-dairy creamer. Roccos sexual references. From 1993 to 1996, kids and adults both found they enjoyed watching Rocco's Modern Life. On a base level, it appealed to kids but had enough hidden mature content to keep adults coming back for more. Indeed, much of the content, only understood by more mature audiences, came in the form of sexual innuendo. For example, one restaurant frequented on the show was initially called the Choky Chicken. In another scene, Rocco and his friends are shown hitting monkeys on the butt with paddles, aka spanking the monkeys. The list goes on, but you get the idea. Ren and Stimpy's relationship. More than a few people enjoyed the twisted and bizarre humor of the Ren and Stimpy show. In fact, the show badly strained the relationship between the creators and the leadership at Nickelodeon, who wanted a more educational program. The excessive violence and language eventually proved too much to take, and the show was canceled in the mid-90s. Given the at times explicit sexual nature of the program and the implied homosexual relationship between the main characters, many thought it was ridiculous that animated violence led to the show's demise on Nickelodeon. SpongeBob International. In itself, SpongeBob SquarePants can be bizarre to most people. Even before seeing the show, many people are thrown by the rather interesting name choice. Imagine, however, trying to understand this show in another language. In Germany, he's called SpongeBob Spongehead, and in South Korea, he's called Square Square Sponge. Of course, as popular as he is, not everyone wants SpongeBob on their airwaves. In 2012, the Ukrainian government pushed to ban the show as it was deemed harmful to children because it promoted homosexuality. Just how they got that from a talking sponge, we're not quite sure. SteveO and the Rugrats. What do new wave band SteveO and the Nickelodeon program Rugrats have in common? Interestingly enough, quite a bit. Even though one gained brief fame in the 1980s and the other was a cartoon that aired for 9 seasons, their paths did cross. Band member Mark Mothersbaugh, one of the guys wearing a red flower pot on his head in the video Whip It, was actually quite involved with the Rugrats cartoon. Mothersbaugh was the inspiration for the character of Chucky Finster and actually composed all the music for the show. Memories. Did you watch any of these Nickelodeon shows when you were a kid? Which were your favorites? We want to hear from you! And don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching!